Hey guys, in the video I have for you today, look at there, there's Riley. He's able to roam free in his yard because we have a new fence. They're coming to put an automatic opener on that, a solar powered automatic opener on that, and that's gonna be real nice. The video I have for you today, this is a regular customer of mine. He called actually last week and said his upstairs didn't seem to be working in heat or cool. I got there today and turned on the thermostat in heat because it was 68 degrees up there. And I heard the heat pump come on, but not the blower. Stay tuned, here we go.
I'll give you some working around.
That's good.
Does that help?
Yeah, that's good.
My kids don't live anymore, but they've got their own apartment.
Are they in school? They out of school?
No, they're out of school, both of them. One's a nurse and one is an accountant. Yeah, they do well. I mean, it costs a lot to live in Atlanta, but they...
Oh, no.
No, don't say that.
We got one of these high-tech, expensive motors.
Now, you're telling me that the motor's not running.
Nope, the motor's not running.
Do you know what that means? Does that mean it's starting up?
Let me see. First, I'm gonna make sure it's getting a call. And I don't want to point this at you. Make sure it's getting a call, and then I'll probably put a motor tester on it.
Yeah.
To see if it's the motor, or there's probably gonna be a little board in here. That controls that motor. Man, I can't see. I think I'm going blind sometimes.
I know.
I hope this will stay lit up. All right. Man, we got green going to everything. All right, that's O. That's gonna be my common. I got brown to B. Man, this thing's all messed up. If it weren't labeled, it'd be hard to figure out what's what. Figure out what is G over here. All right, that says I've got a call. So is this not common?
You wouldn't think it's not a breaker that's set off. Would it show up like?
No.
I just want to make sure. I don't think I turned the breaker off.
No, you hear that humming in there?
Yeah.
That tells me we got power. That's your transformer. We're here. All right, so this B here is gonna be my common. And we're getting 28 volts. So it is getting a call. I wonder if anybody makes a generic variable speed motor.
I hope so.
It would sure save some money if they did.
Surely Surely there is somebody in there.
Alright, that board right there says that the fan is on, but the CFM is blinking nothing. Let me go get my motor tester and I'll be right back. Alright, let me see. As y'all see here, I think that's what they call 16-pin connector. It may be actually more than that, which is this one. And that is adapter A. So that's what we need to follow. Get this. Okay. Let me see if we can. All we have to do is hook these little alligator clips up to our power here. And we know we're getting a call on G, so let's hook one up to our G. And then one up to our B right here, which is going to be for blue. And that's our common. We get our LED lights here. Next step is to unplug this and see if we can make the motor run.
What are you doing, bypassing it? Just to...
Bypassing this control board.
Yeah, I got you. So if it works, it's the control board.
Yep, that's the sole purpose of this little device right here. Let's turn these off and see what this is. Fan. Require fan. Alright, let me see. They don't really tell me a whole lot, but let's turn our fan switch. Let's turn that on. Cool 1, cool 2. No reaction from the motor. Let's do heat 1. Heat 2. I'm getting no kind of reaction at all. Nothing. Nothing. All right, let me see. We have us a 3/4 horsepower right here. Let's see what the amps are on it. I am not seeing the amps. They're not going to have amps? This one, what did I say, 4.1, 4.3 amps on the other one? That's 3.8. All right, what I'm thinking with these motors, these are X13 or constant torque motors. And it would be really easy to put one of these in place of that variable speed. in the process, we'd be bypassing both that board and the motor and just going straight from thermostat wires to the motor. If we do a PSC, we'll have to rewire with a relay and a capacitor and run us a wire from our heat strips to the relay. So I'm kind of leaning towards the X13. I'm just trying to pick out which one to use. I think that said 4.3 amps, which is kind of high for a half horsepower. So I'm leaning towards this one, the 3/4 horsepower. 6.3 amps is 120 volts. This is 240. That's 240, and this is 208. So that is just a little bit below. Ain't gonna hurt to go with this one. So why don't we do that, and I'll show you how we can rewire a variable speed motor and put in an X13. All right, let's go ahead and pull this out, pull that out. Let's see if we can detach that. You know what? Can I get back here? Nope. But
Well, did you find one? I don't see
I have one.
Okay.
I have an X13 for this, the constant torque.
Yeah.
Will work just as fine.
Okay, good.
And a good bit cheaper than these.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, man. That's everything. Bills and property taxes and everything. Man. You know how it is.
Yeah. The property taxes are for everybody this time of year, aren't they?
Yeah.
I know mine are fixing to be due. I'm waiting on the bill. Have you got your bill yet?
No, I haven't. But usually they're here by now.
Yeah, I might have to go down.
Sometime in November.
Might have to go downtown and just say, hey, where's my bill? Or just pay it. Last year, that's what I had to do. I didn't get a bill at all. Come on. Let's see if I can separate that. That's just one little screw over there I need to get. take that out. I think I do. All right, we gotta take this off. You got so much stuff tightly packed in here. Oh.
You don't have screws left over. And run out of screws when you're trying to. Well, you got to get some parts out of it.
I just gotta get the motor out of it.
Get the motor out. Okay, yeah, that stays. I got you. Yeah, that helps. You need that.
How about that? They aren't usually that easy. Ain't no way I can get it.
Yeah. Hey.
I can't get my little socket on this. Nope. Y'all see how that is sit in there? There's no way for that little socket to fit on it. All right, now let's start to turn the bolt. Come on. Come on. Think about these adjustable wrenches. It seems like you have to adjust them every single time you turn on them. No, that ain't gonna work. Ooh. Almost. Man, that one is difficult. All right, half horsepower, 4.3 amps. All right, a lot of the stuff that is in this one, we are going to need, like this wire harness. I don't know if that power harness will hook up to this. You know, I'm not sure about that. That power harness will not hook up to that. I'm trying to think, I might have the next 13 power harness. Let me look real quick. Alright, I do not have a separate power harness, so we're just gonna put one together with these spade connectors that come with it.
You need a hammer for them kind of things, don't you?
That came out. Come on. It don't want to go in, does it?
You gotta, let's see. Are they all loose or are they tight now? They're loose. You think it was.
Loosen this up a
Yeah,
little bit.
there you go.
I'm having to do this one old school. Y'all forgive me my toes. I sit on my toes like that all the time. And it hurts. All right, we're getting tight. It'll hurt a little bit more. All right. Fan value looks pretty good. I'm not gonna clean it. It looks good enough. All right, we want our wires to come out there.
Everything going along okay?
Oh, we gonna get there. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Got it. One more time. All right, now we gotta figure out how to wire this thing up. It's not too difficult. It's just with those rescue motors that I normally use, they do have a power plug, which makes it a little bit easier. All you have to do is wire nut them together. All right, there's a lip in there. Whew. All right, now let me go get our tools. Oops. All right, we have one screw over here that held down my low voltage terminal block. All right. There's some of these. All right, there's only one of these that and it's this one.
There's only one of those in there.
That goes through. The others go through the other panel. All right.
Let me know if you need my hand.
I got it.
Oh yeah.
Problem is, I can't hardly see in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I may have put my motor in too soon. Come on. Alright, we don't need this at all, but we might use some of the wires out of it. And as y'all can see, this does not plug up to that, but we do have a space for it. It just requires different connectors. Lovely. All right, what you cannot see here, this common requires like a normal spade connector, but these other three, that says line, ground, and neutral, they require a smaller spade connector like that. We're going to make our red neutral and go backwards. On a 240 volt motor, there is no neutral, it's 2 power wires. Alright, so this power wire, which is part of my 240 volts, is going up here on in, which is one of my power wires, and the next one, it's really hard to see. That is a G for ground. It also uses one of these smaller connectors. And we'll run that up here. In fact, why don't we do that right now? All right, and next is our other power wire. And if you'll notice, there's a fourth connection here on that side. That fourth connection is going to be for what's probably going to be a blue wire for our common. Nope, that's a... that looks normal size. Here we go. All right. All right, so the common, which can come from here, this is also our thermostat wires. This is green, common. One of these is yellow. And one of these is going to be my white. Red too. Alright, let me see if I have an actual red that goes. Yep, I'm gonna need that red and that common to come down to here. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to leave this plugged up. Because these are basically my thermostat wires coming to the board and coming from the board to the thermostat, like this red one right here. My red and common. Alright, that really looks like one of my... Y'all see this? There's one little spade sticking out there. We're going to try it like that. Now this green one, technically we can run it straight over here. Let me see how much of this we can use. All of these are white, so it's hard to tell what's what. This is probably going to be common, but let's just run. Do I have enough to run from here to here? Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is run me a common from over here, from my blue, over to common here, and then all I need is my green and my white wire from over here to over here. All right, let me see if I can. See if I have enough here. I'm sorry if the lighting is poor. I gotta come over here to my B, which is right here. Tap on that screw, and run it to right there. Okay, I think I got my commons hooked up. At least I hope so. I'm trying to put 3 screws in behind a screw connector like that. Ain't too easy. And this last connector right here is my 24-volt common. There we go. All right, so now we just need to hook up our low voltage hots. We need one for green, and we need one for our white. I've identified green already, so let's see which one is our white. I think it would be this one right here. All right, let's do it. All right, that is where this comes in. Green, yellow, white. Those might be the only ones that I hook up. So what you do, hook that in there. Yellow is going to be your high speed. It'd be great if I had a way to hook to this in the back. Anyway, let me go get a light because I can barely see. I'll be there in a little bit. All right, we are hooking up our white, which is it looks like everything's hooked up to W2. So let's hook up to W2. This is never easy. I just did it over there on my common, and it didn't want to. It did not want to stay. All right. Hook that up so if we have a call on emergency heat, the blower will come on. And this one goes over here to my green. Really, the only one that really matters to me now is this one. And all right, that's supposed to go right there. You know what? You ever build your own transistor radio out of parts from like Radio Shack?
No.
Well, it's just as tedious as what I'm trying to do right here.
Yeah, I mean, I know you had to change up your wiring, and so I mean, it never really works the first time. You got to kind of change other things. I'm assuming that's what you.
No, I'm hooking up low voltage, and as I'm hooking it up, I got to deal with all these other thermostat wires.
Yeah. Okay.
And this one's for your heat strips, and it had come loose while I'm hooking up the low voltage for the blower for your heat strips. Come on.
It's even. I found this always through everything not as easy as it seems to be when you're thinking about how you're gonna do it. Sometimes it is, but not.
All right, that looks like that. It's connected, and my yellow is actually this green right here. I gotta make sure these aren't touching. Yellow right there. It's connected to this one. Right there. Because we're changing the type of motor, I have to put new connectors on it. So the motor's already hooked up. I just gotta hook up this low voltage.
does the motor ever give you like a sign it's about to go out? Or does it just quit? Like,
Well, I mean, if it's the bearings or something, you might hear them.
yeah.
But these ECM motors, if it's not the bearings, basically they just
Stop.
they just quit, or they create some kind of fault that makes you think like one day it'll work and one day it won't, or something like that. That's about the only sign you're gonna get. Come on. All right, I think we got the fan turned on at the thermostat. This motor finds its own direction, which means it'll turn in both directions and measure resistance and amp draw and decide which one is the correct way. So it's going to go in both directions. There was a sticker I was going to put on this. Yeah, that's Riley probing his new fence. So far, he hasn't gotten out. You know, if he's really determined, he can. But he's been good. I hope you enjoyed that video. Customer's happy. He didn't have to pay for a $1,500 OEM variable speed motor. The motor I put on, yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but nothing like that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, how about like and subscribe? And I'll catch you on the next one.